Okay, so when I read them both, I want you to listen very carefully, okay, and tell me if there's a difference in the pronunciation when I'm talking, okay? So when I'm pronouncing these two words, let me know if you hear a difference, okay? So example one, when I was a kid, I never used to play sports, but now I like to keep fit. So I never used to play sports, but now I like to keep fit. All right. Number three, when I was younger, I didn't used to collect anything, but now I do. I didn't used to collect anything, but now I do. Is there any difference in what I'm saying? No, they actually sound exactly the same, right? And they're written differently, okay? So how do I know which one to use and which one is proper if they sound the same when I'm talking, right? But when I'm writing, it's written differently. And that's what we're going to discuss in the grammar focus here, okay? Are you guys with me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So in terms of used to, so used to refers to something that you regularly did in the past, but you don't do it anymore. So you used to. So Amra, you were saying that it's something in the past. Exactly, right? Because you used to do it and then you don't do it anymore, right? Let's take a look at this focus over here, right? So did you used to collect things? Yes, I used to collect comic books. No, I didn't used to collect anything, but now I collect old records. So again, here we are, we're using used to here, we're using used to here, we're using used to here, but they're written differently, okay? Right, let's look over here very quickly. So what sports did you used to play? I used to play baseball and volleyball. I never used to play sports, but now I play tennis. All right, I'm gonna stop this screen share just for 1 second, and I am going to share the whiteboard. Okay, so we have a couple of rules that I want you to take note of and write these down because they are not in the student book. But the rule is when we are talking in an affirmative sentence, so an affirmative sentence is a positive sentence, right? Are you familiar with that term? Affirmative sentence? So let me explain that to you. So we have our subject, tamam, plus used to, plus our verb, plus the rest of the sentence, okay? Rest of sentence, okay? So when we have that, right, I use this. So as an example, right, I could be the subject, used to, okay, being used to, and then be being the verb. So So I used to be really fit, but not anymore. Okay. So we have our first rule is when it is affirmative. Let me put that here. Affirmative. Okay. All right. Excuse me. When it is in a negative sentence, right? What do? I now have my rule becomes, okay, you have your subject, okay, plus, oops, plus didn't, okay, because now we're talking about negative, right? So plus didn't, plus when we have didn't, it becomes negative. So now we use to, and then you have plus, oops, your verb plus the rest of your sentence. Okay, and then here, let me do this. so that everything can remain in line. Okay. And then again, if I were to use this in an example, I could say, I didn't use to collect stamps, for example. Okay. All right. Now we have our final one here, which is the interrogative, right? Interrogative. Okay. And so with interrogative, excuse me, what we do is you have did plus the subject plus use to, okay, plus, oops, I'm sorry, plus the verb, and then plus the rest of your sentence. Rest of sentence. So if I were to take that and give you guys an example, okay, did she used to be vegan, okay? So these are your core grammar rules, okay, when it comes to using used to, okay, or used to, okay? So let's go do a quick review. Number one, we said used to with an ed and used to, they both sound the same, right? So when I'm talking, it's not really a problem because nobody's going to hear a difference. But when I'm writing, okay, that's where it makes all of the difference, okay? So how do I know which one to use? You have 3 different rules that you should always keep in your mind. So when it's affirmative, okay, it becomes the subject plus used to plus verb plus the rest of the sentence. So what do we mean by that? I being the subject, used to is used to, and be being your verb really fit, right? But not anymore is the rest of your sentence, okay? So the negative, right, is I didn't, right? So I didn't used to collect stamps. And here with when it's didn't, we use used to, okay? When it's interrogative, so interrogative comes from, you know, we talked about affirmative means positive, negative is negative, interrogative means I'm interrogating, I'm asking, right? So did plus subject plus used to plus the verb plus the rest of your sentence, right? And so did she used to be vegan, okay? Because here we have, it's a question, we're interrogating. Now we do have one other rule when it comes with never, right? So subject plus, oops, I'm sorry, never, okay, plus it doesn't really follow this rule. So subject plus never plus used to plus verb plus rest of the sentence, okay? So when you have never, okay, you have a different, it doesn't stand. So never means it's a negative, right? And we said when we use negative, we always use used to. The exception to that rule is this one right here. So subject plus never plus used to plus verb plus sentence. So I can say here, I never used to be healthy, for example, but now I am. Okay. Let me stop here. Does this make sense?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Does anybody have
Can I just take a
questions?
screenshot?
Of course, absolutely. Yeah, let's do it this way. Let's keep it like that. Okay, so you guys should definitely keep this. It's not in your book. Write this down. Maybe You know, take a screenshot, keep it for your reference. Okay. All right. Am I good to go? Can I clear this? Can I clear this, or does anybody still need it?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we finished.
Okay, perfect. Clear all drawings. I am going to go back to the book. Okay. Okay. So you guys can see my book now, correct? Can you see the
Yes.
book?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Let's go ahead then, and I'm going to play the audio for you so you can again hear that there is no difference. Okay.
Page 5, Exercise 8, Grammar Focus. Used to. Used to refers to something that you regularly did in the past, but don't do anymore.
Did you used to collect things?
Yes, I used to collect comic books. No, I didn't used to collect anything, but now I collect old records.
What sports did you used to play?
I used to play baseball and volleyball. I never used to play sports, but now I play tennis.
Okay. So can we all agree that there's no difference in the sound? They both sound the same, but they're used extremely different. They're used differently depending on the context of the sentence. And when we write, that's where it really shows. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do exercise A together. Okay. So it says, complete these questions and answers, then compare with a partner. We're not going to compare, we're going to do them together. Okay. So number 1, it says, did you used to have any pets when you were a kid? Okay. Can somebody tell me why we used to? Who wants to tell us?
Because it's a question.
It's a question. It's interrogative. It's an interrogative sentence. Excellent. Okay. So the answer for, you know, student B or participant B, right, is yes, I. What would the answer be?
Used to.
Yes, I. Oops, I'm sorry.
Yes,
sorry,
I used to have.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm trying to figure out so I can write it down, and that way you guys can have it for. Okay. Now, there we go. Okay. No, I'm still. I apologize. Okay. So here we go. Number 1 we said is did and used to, right? And then what are we going to put here? Yes, I. Which one is it going to be?
Used to.
With an E or without an E?
Well,
With an E. Yes, I used to. Okay. What about this one here? Let's go, Nancy. Answer this one for us.
okay. Did you and your classmates
Yes, classmates.
used to play together after
Okay, so which one is it?
ED.
Without the ED. Excellent. Used to play together after school? No, we
didn't used to.
No, we didn't. Okay. Used to. Okay. Play during the week. Yeah.
We used to study a lot.
We used to study a lot with an E. Excellent. Used to Study a lot. Okay, and Asmet, you've been a little bit quiet.
What music did you use to listen?
What music did you,
Use
with or without an E?
without any. Handy.
Okay, used to, listen to. Excellent, good job. And the response is?
I used to listen with D. With an D.
I used to listen to rock a lot. Actually, I still do. Excellent, good job. Final one, Zainab.
What hobbies did you use to?
Did you? And here? Used to is
used to.
with or without?
Without.
Excellent, okay. And here it is.
To.
I used to have, oops, is I didn't use to. So this one is not I used to have any hobbies, but now I play chess every week. So now that he does something, that means he didn't used to. Okay, so I didn't. Does that make sense? And then this one here is going to be because it's negative. Did that make sense? Sorry, because I didn't read the sentence properly the first time. But does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay, everybody, does that last one make sense? So it says, what hobbies did you used to because it was did have when you were little? And then it says here, I didn't used to have any hobbies, right? And because it's didn't, right? What did we say it is for the negative? When we say didn't, we use to without the D, okay? Have any hobbies, but now I play chess every week. Excellent.